Which brings us up today. So this morning, I had that feeling inside of me that I knew something was wrong. And I did everything as normal. I got everything ready. I finished. The kids went off to school once I had everything ready. And I did literally everything, more than everything in order to deal with this. And I've stuck to what I know is a healthful diet for me, a healthy diet for me, like the limited coffee, extra chamomile tea, and I'll start on the green tea eventually soon, and eating breakfast, and just eating lunch and just being really calm and lots of water. And then I double checked something and I found that I'd made a massive mistake. And what that mistake was can be rectified. It's not going to have any detrimental effects, hopefully. But what it brought into my life was a massive learning moment. And that massive learning moment is that I have two parts of my energy, my nature. One part is the way I describe as a puppy dog. It's this very light, bright, airy, enthusiastic, spontaneous, happy, friendly side of me, and basically comes up with tons of ideas and is ready to go for every single one of them every minute of the day, which is a part of me. And I've struggled with that part of myself, to accept that is a good energy. Well, it is what it is. I am who I am, and there's nothing I can really I've tried to change it, and I've hurt myself quite severely in the process. But I also have to acknowledge another part of myself, which is that I am a perfectionist, and it doesn't look like I am, I don't think, but I want to do everything perfectly. So if I assign myself a role, then I have to do that role perfectly. So if I'm going to be a teacher, I have to do it perfectly. If I'm going to be a layabout, I will have to be the perfect layabout. If I'm going to be a waitress, I need to be the perfect waitress. And no, I haven't always done that. I've always, there's always like 0.1% that's been a bit messed up. For me, it's always been that I've always tried to do too many things because the puppy dog gets in the way and he wants to do everything. So I've always been late. That's been my biggest problem, that I would always turn up late for stuff. That has always been my go-to mistake that I would make. And push the boundaries of how far I could get away with something until it was absolutely, you need to do this. It's a horrible habit, and I've kind of put it on extinction, as they say in applied behavior analysis. It's been put on extinction, and now we work on the idea that we're always early for everything. And good days, bad days, goes as well as it can. But there's that part of me. So when I made that massive mistake today, that actually, the repercussions can be quite severe, it destroyed me for about a few minutes. And luckily, my parents were there to support me through it, because I have a very hard time with it. And Hein was very supportive with it. He said to me a very, very beautiful thing. Is I know it's important to you, and you're 99.99% perfect, but these mistakes keep your feet on the floor, and they make you realize that you're human. But I have to accept that I find that very difficult to accept. And I never accepted that part of myself. So I have this puppy dog, and I have this deep thinking part of me, which, when I think something through, it's quite exhausting how I think it through. But that's part of who I am, and that's what makes me who I am. So when I talk about this challenge, you might all think that I'm a bit weird, because I come across as being so light and bright and airy, and then I whack you with these really deep thoughts, but that's just me. So today has been a big deal about that. And then after I had that huge lesson, and I managed to pick it away at it, and my dad and my mum and Hein and I all figured out how to repair it, I got a phone call from one of our kids' dads, and he invited our family to a barbecue at their house. So it's immediately the universe is or me, I don't know, God, the world is saying, come on, this is where you are in your journey, but let's support you through it. And that's what I want to pass on immediately, is that yes, we're all going through some really hard things in all of this, and I think our bodies are holding our spirit and our soul, and they show us what's happening on the inside, and dealing with our the physical part of ourselves is starting to bring out those things that are always there, that have been running in the background or held in your heart, or where you've not got a balance between your body and your heart and your mind, and that needs to be rectified. And it's whether or not this is the right moment for you to be able to push through that. And I don't mean push, but I mean like to work through it, to go with that process. And so I really want to share this story with you, because I think that it's vital that everybody sees that it's what's happening with your life is also a very normal thing, to find this process difficult, to struggle with other issues instead of just the physical ones. And it's almost like, I need to put that on hold because I need to deal with this. And it's like, well, this is bringing about that. So yes, put this on hold, but keep doing what you're doing and give yourself the space to deal with that at the same time, and just breathe through it. And I put a link, and unfortunately it didn't come up as the actual beautiful thing it was, where it just showed a really simple breathing visualization for a breathing exercise. And it's just like, it's really cool. But I will try again, and somebody else sent me another one where it does shapes, and it's just really, really beautiful. And I think it's like the one thing we have right now at this exact moment is that we're still breathing, and we have to just come back to our breath, because we don't have to drink every second, we don't have to eat every second, we don't have to move every second, we don't have to think every second, we don't have to feel every second, but we do need to breathe. And so if you can just return to your breath, you can just deal with all of those things, and we're all in it together, and I hope that we can support each other. And I really hope I can keep supporting you all too, just as much as this is keeping me moving through my process. I mean, I can't back away from it as much as I've found it incredibly difficult sometimes. This weekend was testimony of how difficult I found it. But I'm going to stay present and stay accountable because of all of you. And I'm going to keep moving because I do love it. And it's what I was looking for, and it's what I need. But I couldn't be here if it wasn't for what I've done before in my life. I think that's the main thing. Anyway, much love. Till tomorrow.